Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, The Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco, which I finally found. Excellent. Which I've been whining about for a while. Okay. That bottom card wants to come out. Okay, we'll let that happen. Well, what's going on with that card is a good question, because I want to know. Okay. I feel like this is about somebody you're dealing with. Speaking of somebody I'm dealing with, there's a cat messing with me, but we'll see what happens with that. Fair warning, he might jump into frame. I don't expect him to. Oh, nope, he jumped over there. Okay. Cancer. The Owl with the Eight of Wands. Okay, when I feel owl, the owl, like, tries to keep an eye on everything, is what I'm getting. Usually they're connected with wisdom, I know that. Wise seeing, wise action. Something moving very quickly. I feel like there's something you have to move very quickly on, but you're trying to plan ahead, you're trying to think ahead at the same time, and you're moving very fast. Feels like it's very necessary. But it's kind of like whatever I'm doing right now, it's almost kind of like, I know, like I'm thinking like, for example, I'm at a store and I'm like, oh, in the next couple months I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be doing that. I got 3 different things I have to do. And while I'm here, I'm noticing I could use that, and I know I can use that, and that's a good idea. I think I want to get some of that. So it's almost like you're planning ahead, pulling on things, kind of like banking on a couple things, moving very quickly, kind of like seeing like, hey, I'm going to buy this for that and this other thing, but if it doesn't work out that way, I'm sure I could use it after that for a couple other things I have coming up after it. So it's kind of like you're buying supplies and you're like, well, if it doesn't work out for this thing, it'll work out for the other thing after, so that's fine. Either way, it will prove its worth. And as I keep going forward, I feel like something is going on here. Something is like avoiding you or averting you or something. You got a lot going on. Star card, Eight of Cups, and the forgiveness here in the environment. I feel like somebody almost, like, I don't think they're abandoning you, but it feels like it, and like there may have been plans or something that you were trying to make come together, and you're working with somebody to try to make something come together, and these plans get canceled. I feel like they go a different direction or something. Or something you thought you were going to do, or how you were going to help or be a part of this situation coming forward, it didn't work out that way. And I'm getting forgiveness with the Eight of Cups. Like, Eight of Cups is telling me there was a lot of work, a lot of action going towards something, and then the Star card is saying, well, something else happened here. We have to go a different direction. We're not going to do that. Forgiveness is coming in saying, well, I'm sorry. We wanted to do this. We wanted to go that direction. We wanted to do these couple things, but we're going to have to cancel them for whatever reason. Forgiveness is like kind of like an apology. Eight of Cups is like things are going away that we're getting planned on. But the Star card is like, even though that's not happening, maybe like 5 or 6 months down the road, we can do something else. When this happens, something is canceled. I'm getting the Skull of Stars and the Ten of Swords. Like, you're getting starred twice here. Once on whoever's canceling, somebody's canceling something is what I'm getting. And once for you. Like, you're realizing that, like, whatever's canceled, it doesn't mean that, it's not like a complete fail. It's just kind of like, you're very disappointed, that's for sure. That's the Ten of Swords. It's kind of like, it's supposed to happen this next month or so, it's going to be like 5 or 6 months out instead. Whatever is being canceled, but really, you're really upset about it. You were very upset about it because you're like, I really wanted this to happen. I really wanted to see these people or do this situation. The Skull of Stars is saying, like, but I'm still hopeful, even though I feel like this is a strong blow to the situation and it very much upsets me, but it's like not all hope is lost, if that makes sense. But it's kind of like telling a kid, this is the way I'm feeling it, kind of like, yeah, your birthday's in a month, but, and even though your birthday's in 1 month, we're not going to give you this until next summer. You can't use this till next summer. It's almost like it's like in the beginning of like fall, giving a kid like a new water toy, like a water skimmer or something that you could use on the lake, and kind of like, yeah, we're giving you this, but you can't use it till next season. Sorry. And I feel like if I was a kid, I'd be like, I can't believe you're giving it to me now and I can't use it for 5 to 6 months. Like, that would kill me. But that's how it feels. Like, it's not completely useless. It's just I can't use it now, and it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. It's kind of how it feels to me. Kind of like, oh, look, you got this, what do you call those things? I can see it, but I can't, like, I don't know what you call it. They're not called skimmers. I don't know what you call them. Skidoos? Nope. You go on the lake with them, I don't know. It's a lake thing for like when it's hot out. But I can't think of what it's called. What is it called? It's killing me. All right, moving on. Face down cards in the environment. It's killing me that I can see it, and I just keep seeing that image, and I can't think of what it's called. I can't think of it. This is face down in the environment. This is what comes next. Vampire, which is actually a good card in this deck. Princess and Prince of Swords, which these two are interchangeable sometimes for me, depending on the energy I'm feeling off of them, because sometimes she feels very strong, and sometimes to me he feels like a follower, so it depends on how it feels with other cards around it. I'm getting with the Vampire coming in, and this is all in the environment, it's kind of like trying to find a way around things. It's kind of like, you know, that water machine, which I can't remember the name of it, jet ski. Hallelujah, it came in. Jet ski. There we go. Jet ski. Like, okay, we can't use the jet ski up here. We're, you know, say we're really north, like northern Maine or something, like northern Canada. Maybe we're in Canada. Like, nope, nope. It's October. We're not going to be using that here. Nope, nope, nope. Way too cold. Way too cold. But it's almost kind of like, you know, we were gonna go and we were gonna travel down there, and we were gonna travel down south as far as we could, and you know, we wanted to go to like Florida or something, and we were all gonna take a trip. You know, we were gonna take a road trip on the way down and all this other stuff, and you know, we kind of could fit that in. And I wonder if could we find a place down there where we could use this? Could we find a place down there where we don't have to wait that long, and we could find a place that's suitable? The weather isn't bad, and we could actually get use out of this thing now, or at least for a little temporary move forward. My cat is vandalizing my house. I can hear him. Well, turd. The Vampire is kind of like trying to find another way around things. It's kind of like, I know what I want, and I'm not accepting these confines. It's kind of like, I want this, and I'm going to find a way to get it. I'm going to find a way to work through the situation. They have emotional intelligence for Vampire, and I feel like it's kind of like addressing the desire and trying to find a way to make the desire happen. It's kind of like maybe editing the rules to their advantage, something like that. It's like trying to find a way around. This is behind the scenes. So it's kind of like somebody knows you're very upset and really disappointed that this is like, okay, we were going to do it in a month, but we can't do it for 5 to 6, whatever that thing was. So there's like, well, how can we, is there a way we can kind of work around this, or kind of make something like a little bit better so we can like do this partially or something similar? I feel like this is coming up, and like an idea comes up, and I feel like they transfer this idea over to you. They're like, hey, I know we said we can't do this next month, but maybe in 3 months we could do a little something. And it's not exactly the best. It's not the ultimate thing we can do. We can't do it as good as we wanted to, but we might be able to do like a halfway thing in 3 months. What do you think? And I feel like when I'm looking at like between 5 to 6 months versus 3 months, it's kind of like, it just seems like it's more palatable. And it's kind of like something to look forward to, something to plan, something to make happen. It seems like it's kind of like, you know, if we can do that, that would hold me over and I would be okay. Ace of Swords with the Fool card kind of like says, you know what, it's still better. It is better. And I like the idea of it. And it's something to look forward to, something to plan. And I'm like, I want to be optimistic about it. And I'm like, let's talk about it some more. Let's see if we can make it happen. Let's try to make that happen. The Ace of Swords is like putting in all that extra effort to see if like we can all make this happen. I'm working with it. I'm willing to go with it. Who can do it? Who can't do it? What are we going to need to make it happen? I feel like we're trying. We're trying. The end of this, okay. I'm trying to find a way, like, no. What I'm getting is, like, I don't think it's going to work. And I feel like what the universe is saying, they don't want to, like, dash your dreams, but, like, originally it's, like, saying, well, we can't do it this next month. We're going to have to wait 5 to 6. And then somebody's trying to pull it in quicker. And it seems very hopeful and very positive. But I feel like what they're saying with the devil card showing up on your side is, like, don't count on it too much. It seems like it's like a long shot. For example, if we're doing that jet ski feel, and say that you're a person that lives in northern United States, just for argument's sake. I know people all over the world watch this, but it's like northern United States. For example, I live in New York. I believe it's a 24-hour straight drive if you go right to Florida. I've never done it, but I've heard. Could be wrong. But that's just go with it. It's a distance. Let's do that. And like somebody kind of saying, well, you know, we have that jet ski and we're way up here, so this time of year it's not going to be able to be done. But if we drive it all the way down to the tip of Florida, to the Keys, and we find a place to put it in the water, we could use it a little bit down there at least. It would just be a momentary thing, but if we bring it with us, we can make that happen. The details of making that happen, dragging it down there, using it for maybe a day or possibly 2 if you're lucky, it's just too much. It's over it's not really realistic. It sounds good, seems doable, seems like people are on board with it, but when push comes to shove, it's going to kind of fall through. That's what they're warning you about. Like, don't get too excited. Don't get too attached to that, because even though it's 3 months versus 5 to 6 months, it's a little earlier. I feel like when that falls through, it could really bother you. It's kind of like, I was very disappointed to begin with when it first fell through with the Ten of Swords. And then I'm going to be ticked right off when the second time it falls through. It's going to really bother you. So they're trying to give you a heads up, like, don't get too attached to that outcome. Distract yourself with other things. The Devil card is telling me it's going to bother you either way. It's just kind of like how long this card has to hang out. If you're hopeful, but you try not to get too attached to it, and you keep reminding yourself it's not likely, you might be okay. Because I'm getting like somebody stepping in and kind of like, you know what, I know you guys want to do that, but I don't want to spend the majority of my vacation on the road traveling just so we can use a jet ski for like a day, possibly 2. Because we're going to have to drive down there. It's going to take, because we're not going to drive straight, we're going to have to drive and stop and do things on the way. Get down there, stay for a couple days, and just use it. But then we're going to have to come right back, and we're going to be driving so much. And I feel like they're saying, that's like, I don't want to drive that far. I don't want to do that. I don't like the idea of that. Somebody's saying that's like, we're sucking up most of our vacation. If we just fly there, we'll be there the same day. We get to enjoy so much more of it, then we can fly back and be done. If we drive down there, we're going to split it between 2, possibly 3 days. 2 to 3 days. And when we get there, we're going to have to drive back 2 to 3 days. So instead of just taking 1 day to fly down, 1 day to fly back, so it's out of the 9 days of the vacation, 7 of them we can enjoy. We're taking 4 to 6 days of that, 4 to 6 of our vacation, and we're cutting our vacation time down by that much. And they're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want that to happen. I don't think this is worth that. And then we have to keep track of this stuff, and we have to make sure it works out right. And I feel like what they're saying is like they don't want to do that. They just want to get there, enjoy it, and then when it's done, come home. It's just too much work. And I'm getting the werewolf here with the Empress. It's kind of like this could be a big fight when I'm getting the werewolf here. It could be a big fight. They're kind of like, no, I'm not going to do it. Somebody's definitely going to stand in your way. I'm also getting the Queen of Wands here between the two of you. Like, you're both very passionate. You're passionate about what you want. They're passionate about how they're seeing it and what they want. It could be just like, by the time you come to an agreement, it may be too late anyway. So I feel like what they're saying is like, don't get too attached to this second idea. Go a different direction. and find something else to distract yourself, and just like, it's almost like, okay, in a month we're not going to do it. 5 to 6 months is a very good chance we will. In the middle way, like give it a shot, I guess, but just don't attach yourself to it. Just don't put too much into that, because I feel like when you get upset, you're going to be really disappointed again. It's kind of like a repeat of the Ten of Swords, and we don't need that. You don't want that. We don't want that for you, right? So I feel like they're trying to give you a heads up, like maybe just center on the 5 to 6 months, accept that, move on, do other things that make you happy, divert your attention, and that way you don't end up having a double, going through the Ten of Swords once and then later in a few months going through it again because you're again disappointed. Like, they're trying to help you find a way to avoid that. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.